Hey Magicals, I'm back. Okay, so as promised, the Saturn retrograde reading quicks. For those of you who've never done an Astro guide with me, I'm going to quickly just speak you through some of the stuff about this Mercury retrograde. Mercury's already playing nonsense with us. The Saturn retrograde, and then what I've done is I pull one card for each sign. We work through it astrologically. And that way it just gives you a little bit of a heads up as to what to focus on during Saturn. Okay, right, so let's get to it. Saturn retrograde has started on the 23rd of this month, 23rd of May, so that was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And it goes through right through until the 10th of October, so it's a long retrograde. All right. So Saturn is like the strict daddy energy. Okay, it's the planet of karma, and it calls for us to look at lessons and discipline. All right. What it is asking us to do at this point is to make sure that we reinforce our boundaries. Okay, it's big on boundaries. And on top of that, it's pushing us to release the things that we are resistant to. Okay, because in releasing the resistance, we then can move forward to where we need to be. Okay, it's also asking us to do a bit of a life review, look at where we are as opposed to where we want to be. Okay, and Saturn has this fabulous little way while it's doing its little backward dance of lighting the way for us to get there. So it does help us in that regard. Not all retrogrades are harsh and awful. Okay, sorry, I've got some notes here because there was a lot of information. Okay, so one of the big things that you can do with this, it's a karmic planet. So one thing you can do during this time is to actually look at your karma, look at those who you have wronged, okay, and try and make right. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy to be able to do that. That moves us in leaps and bounds when we clear karma. Okay, so that's a really, really nice one. Look, you may feel like it's quite tiring during this energy. And that is simply because Saturn is square with Uranus. So now when a planet is square with another planet, it creates tension between the two energies. And now, of course, we've got Saturn that's all about rules and discipline and karma, etc. And then we have Uranus, sorry, and that's about expansion. Okay, so there's a very push-pull energy with this. So if you're finding yourself like being a bit tired and getting a bit like meh, please, guys, ground yourself, rest, and meditate. Hugely, hugely, hugely important. Clear space as often as you can. Be very cognizant of the rituals you're doing. So if you're doing full moon rituals and things like that, look at karmic clearing at the same time. Okay, we've got like June, July, August, September. Almost October. So like 4.5 months of being able to clear karma with the planet that's actually working in our favor for it. Okay, so nice way to kind of put your foot forward. Mercury is having havoc with my communications. Okay, so that's just a quick sum up. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but that's just a quick sum up of basically what you can expect. It does also bring about transformations and miracles and things like that. It does push us forward because in reviewing where we're at, we get to see what needs to change. And then when we have to see what needs to change, we look at what we're resisting, okay? And it does push us past that. It's asking us to really step up and push us past that, okay? I have to say my personal intuitive feel is that there's going to be a massive punch of energy after this full moon on the 26th. I will do a reading with that as well for Wednesday and just take it from there. In fact, I might actually do the full moon reading tomorrow and swap around because the DFs will be in shifting for about 7 to 8 days. So I think I might do the full moon tomorrow so you guys can prepare for your rituals. Okay, right. So I've drawn 12 cards. We're going to go through the astrology. You just have to bear with me. I very often get my astrological signs confused. So just bear with me. I'll do my best here. Okay, so we are starting with Aries. Fire sign, like leader of the pack, right? You are being called on to focus on strength. Okay, now you'll see over here, okay, and down here, I don't know if you can see it on there. She's holding lion cubs. Okay, obviously lion, the animal of strength. And on top of her head, she's got antlers. Now, the deer is normally about leadership and diplomacy. Okay, so this period of time, while you're doing your review and all that during Saturn, please make sure that although you take your leadership role and you're working your strength, you're focusing on your strength, you're doing it with a gentleness and diplomacy. Okay, I know that Aries can be quite feisty and they can go va and they go like barging in, but this is really calling for you to handle it in a specific way because we're trying to clear karma, not incur more karma. Okay, so that's Aries. Then we go on to Taurus, and you've got such a beautiful card, love. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is a couple of things. The first thing is if you're going to do reflections on anything, you're going to do reflections on love's like past stuff that's happened in love relationships. Please, I'm not saying moan and groan and rehash hurtful stuff, but this is more about where you have hurt people in love, where you can make right. Okay, but this is also about self-love. This is calling for us to take care of ourselves. So for the Taurians, very earthbound, they're earthbound signs. I know the Taurians, they love their comforts and things like that. But this is taking you out of that space and into an etheric space, a heart chakra space. Okay. So please make sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you're focusing on putting love into everything that you do, including your healings and your reviews, but also looking back at love situations that could have played out differently. Okay. And if there's anything that you can change in that. All right. So that's Taurus. Okay. Gemini. This is such a beautiful card. Happiness. Okay, butterflies of transformation and whirls of light. It really does just indicate magic. The little orbs in the corner up there. I don't know if, shit, hold on, I can't see what I'm doing. Orbs in the corner up there. And of course, there's a massive glare off the one photo frame behind me. This is about focusing on the things that make you happy. All right. You need to then look in alignment with Saturn. You need to look at where in your life things are happening that are draining you of happiness, and then start focusing on what does actually make you happy. All right. So guys, please, happiness is such a beautiful card. You've got such a beautiful thing to focus on. This is really an energy. And also understand we're in about communications here, reviews and things like that. Communication is your thing. Gemini, it's all about communication, all right? So when you're looking at the happiness stuff, like really communicate with yourself, your higher self, your inner self. Where are you going and what are you doing to make yourself happy? Okay, that's a big one. All right, so Gemini. Okay, Cancer. Oh, that's me. Okay, financial health. Right, interesting. Okay, so this card is asking Cancerians to get serious about, what they felt has held them back with their financial situations, whether it be stories they've told themselves, stories of lack or poverty vows, all that kind of stuff. Because remember, we're looking at karma, so vows will come into it. We are being asked to, in examining our financial health, what can we do? What stories can we release? What cycles can we release? What patterns, habits, behaviors in order to move forward and to actually grow our financial health or to improve our financial health? Okay, so during this period, really have a look and see what you can do to improve this area of your life. Okay, so that's the Cancers. Leo. Okay, fertility. There we go. Okay, so she's leaning up a tree, grounding herself nicely there. Okay, this means that this is a very fertile time for you. Okay, whether you want to have babies or not, that's one thing. But fertility, what I'm hearing here very loudly and clearly, is that this is the time to assess, all right, what needs to be planted for your future prosperity, happiness, abundance, love, whatever it is. This is the time to plant the seeds. So start doing the review now, because you've got a really, they're showing me like these like fields of fertile soil ready to sow. So guys, look at what you need to plant at this time. You've got a very, very, very opportunistic energy around you for this. Don't waste it. Make the most of it and take this time that you're doing your review and all of that to find out exactly what you need to sow for your greatest good come the end of oh God, the end of Saturn retrograde, which will be the 10th of October. Okay, so nice one there, Leo. Fertility. Right. Then we go into Virgo. Courage. Okay. Now we know that Virgo is known for its organization and stuff like that. It's not necessarily always. It's also an earth sign. It's not necessarily always the most confrontational sign. All right. But what I'm being told here very clearly is that, and what I mean by confrontational is not just fighting, but like actually almost in a way fighting for what they want. Okay, this is about now taking this time to find out exactly what you want and fighting for it, having the courage to release what you're resisting, to release what's holding you back, and to move forward. So during this period, courage is going to be a big asset for you to work with in order for you to get to where you need to be by the end of this retrograde. And I'm also hearing, have the courage to right your wrongs. Okay, so I'm just passing on the message from Kelso. Have the courage to right your wrongs. Okay. Sorry, there's a little dog clearing his throat chakra. Okay, so we went from, you see, I told you I was going to lose this. Virgo to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Oh, no, sorry, Libra. Okay, justice. Okay, this is all about you, all about scales and things like that. Also understanding that you're carrying the energy of a karmic planet with you, all right? So during this time, focus, and again, you've got the full moon in the background there, focus on where justice needs to play out in your space. What wrongs do you need to right? Has somebody wronged you? Can you forgive them for that? Okay, look at the areas in your life where you are lacking justice, okay? Look at the things that you are accepting that are not just. Check your boundaries. I'm hearing very clearly, check your boundaries, and don't allow unjust situations into your space. Okay, really, really big one. I'm hearing just do not allow unjust situations into your space. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get more unjust situations than other people. It just literally means that you need to keep an eye out for it and check your boundaries. Okay, but where you can, work with the energy of justice. It's a powerful energy with the pull of the karma from Saturn as well. Okay, so Libra, you've got justice. Right. Okay, well, I'm not sure how this is lacking here. But Scorpio, you've got confidence. Okay, and what I'm hearing here is you can see this woman's got wings. And again, there's the sun behind her. So it's got that Icarus vibe. Confidence, take the leap of faith. All right. So once you've checked out what you're resisting and you're looking at letting it go, take that leap of faith. Just take that leap and just fly. I'm hearing like literally they're saying, I know it's obvious, but spread your wings. All right. Really just take off and find the places that you want to be, but don't be afraid of actually taking that leap to get to where you want to be. It's really, really important that you act with confidence at this time. Okay, really, really important. So as you're processing all the stuff over the next couple of months, because bearing in mind we've still got Mercury retrograde and Pluto retrograde, and I'm sure something else is coming up in the next couple of weeks, because why wouldn't it? But make sure that all the decisions you make come from a place of confidence and not fear. Okay, is what I'm hearing very clearly. All right, so Scorpio. Right. Sagittarius. So I just had to check my numbers there. I thought I'd missed someone. Right, answers. Okay, you see this figure here is quite a wise, sagey kind of vibe. What I'm hearing very clearly here is that you guys need to focus very much so on your meditation and your quiet time, okay? By doing that, what's going to end up happening is you're going to get the answers that you need. So I feel like there are a lot of people out there, or a lot of Sagittarians, I should say, that have been wanting answers on specific things for a long time. They're saying with the karmic payback and the karmic debts that are being cleared, the answers are going to come to you through this period of time. But in order to hear clearly and to get your messages with clarity, you need to make sure that you are meditating, you're keeping yourself grounded, and you are taking care of yourself. Okay, so rest when you need to rest, etc. But I'm hearing that answers are going to be heard for you, are going to be given to you. You will hear the answers. So that was where the herd came from. You will hear the answers that you've been waiting for. Okay, so that Sagittarius, really important. Okay, interesting. Capricorn. psychic abilities. Okay, so this is your time over this period to stop resisting the illusion that you are not capable of, is what I'm hearing loud and clear. It's just that simple. For those of you that are panicking about being able to use your psychic abilities, or whether you've got psychic abilities, any of that stuff, please release it. It's really, really important at this time that you spend time in meditation, because it will enhance your psychic abilities. Do a little bit of research on the third eye, your third eye chakra, ajna. It will help you as well. The color indigo, working with your third eye, and not staying in a space of illusion, because illusion is the shadow side of this chakra, and it will actually drain the energy of the chakra. Okay, so you focus on your psychic abilities, start practicing. Okay, have the confidence to practice that. And I'm also hearing very loudly and clearly, listen to your intuition during this period. Okay, it will not steer you incorrectly, so listen to your intuition during this period. Okay, that's Capricorn. Right. Sorry, all I've done is been speaking all day, and normally for me that's real fun, but sure. Okay, so Capricorn, Aquarius. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. If any of you watched my chakra video this morning, we spoke about boundaries as well. Okay, this is huge, guys. It's also in alignment with what I said about Saturn. It's calling you to put up your boundaries. Okay, so this is a reinforcement for you. So there's some fabulous little Aquarians out there that are really shocking at boundaries, and they really, really need to actually like put them into play now. Okay, this is a very vital, pivotal time for you to do that. Okay, so this is something you really, really, really need to focus on during this energy, and it is going to back you up. Okay, the energy of Saturn being that disciplinarian, that like strict dad kind of vibe, it's totally going to have you back when you set boundaries during this period. The people that are receiving the boundary may not like it, but that's not for you to worry about. How people respond to your boundaries is never your problem. Okay, all you need to do is set the boundary, because that is your problem. All right, nothing else you need to worry about. If they don't like setting a boundary, if they don't like the boundary that you set, sorry, then there's a reason for it. Then they feel like they are not getting something that they were getting without the boundary. And it's usually an unhealthy thing for you. Okay, so just be very clear on that. All right, and then finally, Pisces. Clarity. Okay, you are a water sign. You're emotive. Okay, you're intuitive. You've got a massive full moon lunar eclipse coming up. We've got a massive new moon next month with a solar eclipse going on the same day, because it's just, you know, use your intuition here. Spend quiet time getting clarity on exactly what needs to change in your life. What are you resisting? What boundaries are you not working with? Okay. Where are you? Where do you want to be? All of these things that Saturn's asking us to pull up from, they're saying to you, focus on the clarity of that. And the more you recalibrate, the calmer you are, the more you meditate, the more you just take some quiet time, the grounding of yourself, sitting in the garden, having a cup of tea on the grass, whatever it takes for you. Take that time to gain the clarity. It is vitally, all I'm hearing is, they won't give me a reason why. All they're saying is it is vitally important for you to gain clarity for this period of time. Okay. It will move you forward. Why couldn't you just say that? Sorry, it will move you forward once this retrograde is over. Okay, they're kind of showing me a little bit of a catapult. So the reason for it is so that you get catapulted into where you need to be. So just please, guys, clarity. Okay, clarity. Okay, so good luck with Saturn. I think it's going to be a great time. I actually genuinely am quite excited about it. I'm a bit of a goody two shoes though, so I'm big on rules and things like that. So what can I say? But I hope that this helps you guys to give a bit of an idea of what's going on and what you need to focus on. And I will see you tomorrow morning for the chakra reading. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do the full moon reading tomorrow night, I think, okay? So that you can prep for your full moon ritual. All right. But I'm sending you so much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening. And I will touch base with you in the morning. Big loves.